Admiral Reed watched through the viewport as the Galactic Council representatives toured the ancient human fleet. Their expressions ranged from poorly concealed amusement to outright mockery. The vessels, relics from humanity's first interstellar expansion, floated in perfect formation, their hulls scarred by centuries of cosmic dust and radiation. Primitive technology, sneered Representative Volmar, the lead diplomat from the Arcturus Coalition. His exoskeleton glinted under the lights as he gestured dismissively. These vessels are museum pieces, not warships. You expect the Council to believe these are part of Earth's defense strategy? Reed maintained his composure, hands clasped behind his back. These ships have protected Earth's interests for over 3 centuries, Representative. The delegation erupted in laughter. Even the typically reserved Prandian ambassador joined in, her crystalline form refracting light as she vibrated with mirth. The Council requires all member species to demonstrate adequate self-defense capabilities, Volmar continued. These antiques hardly qualify. The protection fees will triple if this is truly the best Earth can offer. Reed said nothing as the delegates completed their inspection and departed through the airlock. Only when their shuttle disconnected did he allow himself a thin smile. Communications, he said quietly. Get me Director Thomas. In her office beneath the Himalayan mountains, Director Thomas received Reed's transmission. They laughed? She asked, leaning back in her chair. As expected, Reed confirmed. The Arcturus Coalition is already drafting increased protection demands. Thomas nodded. The Arcturus fleet is positioning itself near Jupiter's orbit? Yes. 32 vessels fully armed. They're making no attempt to mask their approach. They expect submission, not resistance. Thomas's weathered face remained impassive. Begin Protocol Lazarus. On the bridge of the Arcturus flagship, Commander Drav watched the ancient human fleet with contempt. Pathetic, he muttered. They've maintained these obsolete hulks rather than developing proper defenses. His second-in-command approached with a report. The humans have ignored our demands. No response to ultimatum. Orders? Drav's mandibles clicked in anticipation. Position for intimidation pattern. Target their largest vessel. Non-critical systems only. We need them intact for resource extraction. Sir, the tactical officer interrupted. I'm detecting energy fluctuations from the human fleet. What kind? Unknown. Our sensors can't identify the signature. Drav waved a limb dismissively. Probably trying to restart those ancient reactors. Proceed as planned. Deep within the flagship of the human fleet, systems that had remained dormant for decades began to awaken. Not the conventional systems the Arcturus scans had detected and dismissed, but something else. Something hidden beneath layers of seemingly obsolete technology. In the silent darkness of space, nanoscopic transformations began across the hulls of every vessel in the ancient fleet. What had appeared to be corrosion and battle damage now shifted, rearranged, and revealed their true nature. Advanced metamaterials that had been disguised as decay. Sir, the human vessels are changing, the tactical officer reported, voice rising with alarm. Drav moved to the viewing port. What he saw made his blood run cold. The human ships were transforming. Hull plates shifted and reconfigured. What had seemed like damage now flowed like liquid metal, revealing weapon systems of advanced design. Engines that had appeared dormant now glowed with energy signatures off the charts. The vessels that had been mockingly described as museum pieces now bristled with technology clearly beyond anything in the Arcturus arsenal. Impossible, Drav whispered. Aboard the newly awakened flagship, Reed received a transmission from Earth. Protocol Lazarus complete, Thomas informed him. The slumbering fleet is awake. Understanding dawning on our visitors? She asked. Reed observed the Arcturus vessels hastily changing formation. I believe so. They're attempting to establish a defensive posture. Too late for that, Thomas replied. They made their choice when they threatened Earth with extortion. Reed nodded. Initiating first contact protocol, the real one this time. On the Arcturus flagship, panic had replaced confidence. "What are they?" Drav demanded, as his tactical officers scrambled to make sense of readings. "The vessels appear to have been hibernating," his science officer explained. "What we saw was a shell. These ships are generations beyond our technology." "Open communications," Drav ordered. "Tell them we meant no harm. It was merely a standard negotiation tactic." Before his communications officer could comply, every screen on the Arcturus vessel activated simultaneously. Admiral Reed's face appeared, calm and composed. "Representatives of the Arcturus Coalition," he began, "you have assessed humanity's capabilities incorrectly. The vessels you mocked were merely sleeping, waiting for a moment of need." "We meant no disrespect," Drav stammered. "It was a misunderstanding," Reed continued as if Drav hadn't spoken. "Humanity learned long ago the advantage of being underestimated. What you saw as primitive technology was simply the outer layer of our first contact protocol. Now that you've revealed your true intentions with threats, we reveal ours." A holographic display activated, showing the transformed human fleet now surrounding the Arcturus vessels completely. "Your options are simple," Reed explained. "Withdraw your forces, return to your council, and report that Earth requires no protection. We will join the galactic community as equals, not as subjects to be exploited." 3 days later, Director Thomas stood beside Reed as they watched the Arcturus fleet depart Earth's solar system. "How long until the Council sends real diplomats, do you think?" Reed asked. Thomas smiled. "Based on the speed of Volmar's retreat, I'd say they're already on their way." "And the slumbering fleet?" "Returns to hibernation," Thomas replied. "The greatest advantage is the one your opponent doesn't know exists until it's too late." In the void of space, the ancient human fleet began its transformation once more. Advanced systems folding away behind facades of weathered metal and apparent obsolescence. They would sleep again, patient sentinels disguised as relics. While humanity took its place among the stars, not as a species to be conquered, but as one to be respected. The ships that had been mocked would sleep again until they were needed.